The containment facility hummed with nervous energy as xenobiologists, security personnel, and military advisors crowded around the observation screens. Through reinforced crystalline walls, they watched the creature that had terrorized 3 colony worlds before its capture, Rakkar. The name alone sent shivers through the spines of anyone who knew the old war stories. 8 feet of corded muscle and chitinous armor, the ancient war dog paced within its cell like a caged tempest. Its 6 legs moved with predatory grace, each step causing the reinforced floor to tremble. Bioluminescent markings along its spine pulsed with an angry crimson glow, and its 4 eyes, each the size of a human fist, tracked every movement beyond the walls with cold intelligence. "The creature hasn't eaten in 17 days, Commander Thexalon announced. His reptilian features twisted in concern. The Saurian officer had seen combat across a dozen worlds, but even he kept his distance from the observation deck's edge. "Our xenopsych team believes it's entering a terminal decline. Without intervention, it will die within the week." "Good riddance," muttered Dr. Calix, a Centaurian researcher whose feathers bristled with barely contained fear. "That thing slaughtered an entire garrison on Kepler 442. 47 soldiers gone in minutes." Dr. Erin Voss stood apart from the crowd, her fingers pressed against the cool glass. While others saw a monster, she saw something else, something that made her heart ache with recognition. The way Rakkar moved wasn't just aggressive. It was defensive. The creature's ears, triangular and constantly swiveling, tracked sounds with desperate vigilance. Its tail, thick as a tree trunk and tipped with bone spurs, stayed tucked low. "It's not hostile," Erin said quietly. "It's terrified." The observation deck fell silent. 50 pairs of eyes from a dozen different species turned toward the human woman. "Dr. Voss," Commander Thexalon said carefully, "that creature has a confirmed kill count of over 200 sentient beings. It's a weapon from the Architect's War, engineered for slaughter. Terror isn't in its programming." Erin turned to face them, her brown eyes blazing with conviction. "Everything that lives can feel fear, Commander. Even weapons," she gestured toward Rakkar. "Look at its posture. The constant pacing, the refusal to eat, the way it never settles into sleep. Those aren't signs of aggression. They're symptoms of severe trauma and anxiety." Dr. Calix's feathers flattened in disbelief. "You can't be suggesting what I think you're suggesting." "I'm going in," Erin said simply. The room erupted in protests. Commander Thexalon's voice cut through the chaos. "Absolutely not. Dr. Voss, I respect your expertise, but I cannot authorize what amounts to suicide." Erin met his gaze steadily. "Then I'm requesting it as a volunteer action under Xenobiological Research Protocol 7. You can't stop me, Commander. You can only choose whether to monitor and support the attempt." For a long moment, the Saurian commander stared at the human woman. Humans were still relatively new to the galactic stage, but they'd already earned a reputation, not for their technology or their military might, but for their absolutely baffling courage and their irrational capacity for empathy. They bonded with anything. Plants, machines, rocks they found aesthetically pleasing. Of course one would want to befriend an ancient war beast. "Your species is insane," Thexalon said, but he nodded to his security chief. "Prepare the inner chamber. Have medical teams standing by." 20 minutes later, Erin stood in the airlock, stripped of everything but a simple gray jumpsuit. No weapons, no armor, no technological aids. Just herself and a small pack containing basic supplies. "Dr. Voss," came Thexalon's voice through the comm. "The moment you enter, we're sealing the outer doors. If Rakkar attacks, we cannot extract you in time. You'll have approximately 4 minutes before lethal intervention. Do you understand?" "I understand," Erin replied. "Don't intervene unless I explicitly call for it." No matter what happens, the inner door hissed open. Rakkar's reaction was immediate. The war dog spun toward the entrance, its massive body coiling like a spring. The crimson glow along its spine flared to brilliant scarlet. A sound emerged from deep within its chest. Not quite a growl, more like grinding stone mixed with a subsonic rumble that Erin felt in her bones. She stepped inside, and the door sealed behind her with terminal finality. For 3 heartbeats, neither human nor war dog moved. Erin could hear her pulse hammering in her ears, could smell the creature's musk, something like copper and ozone. Every instinct screamed at her to run, to cower, to make herself small. Instead, she sat down cross-legged on the floor, keeping her movements slow and deliberate. She didn't look directly at Rakkar. Instead, she gazed slightly to the side, making herself as non-threatening as possible. Rakar's growl intensified. The creature took one massive step forward, then another. Through the observation screens, Aaron knew dozens of beings were holding their breath, their fingers hovering over emergency protocols. "Hey there, old warrior," Aaron said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm not here to hurt you. Nobody's going to hurt you anymore." The war dog's head tilted, its four eyes narrowing. It took another step closer. Aaron could feel the heat radiating from its body now, could see the individual scars crisscrossing its armored hide. How many battles had this creature survived? How many handlers had it watched die? "You've been alone for a long time, haven't you?" Aaron continued, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "Fighting because that's all you were taught to do. Killing because everyone you meet expects you to be a monster." Rakar stopped just 5 feet away. This close, Aaron could see that the creature was trembling, minute shakes running through its powerful frame. One of its eyes had a milky cataract. Its breathing, she realized, was ragged and uneven. Slowly, carefully, Aaron reached into her pack and pulled out a compressed ration bar. She broke it in half and placed one piece on the ground between them. Then she bit into her own half, chewing slowly, maintaining that careful sideways gaze. Minutes passed. Then, with movements so cautious they seemed impossible for something so massive, Rakar lowered its head and sniffed the offered food. Its tongue, thick and purple, emerged to take the ration. Aaron didn't move. Didn't celebrate. Just sat and breathed and existed in the space with this ancient, wounded thing. After finishing the food, Rakar settled onto the floor, its 6 legs folding beneath its body. The crimson glow along its spine faded to a soft amber, and then, in a gesture that made every observer gasp, the war dog rested its massive head on the ground, vulnerable, the neck exposed, just inches from Aaron's knee. She slowly extended her hand, letting it hover above the creature's scarred hide. "May I?" she whispered. Rakar's eyes closed. Aaron placed her palm on the war dog's head and felt the tension drain from its body like water. The creature released a sound, part sigh, part whimper, that spoke of centuries of loneliness finally acknowledged. In the observation deck, Commander Thexlon stared at the screens in disbelief. Around him, hardened warriors and brilliant scientists stood in stunned silence. "Humans," Dr. Calix whispered, her feathers now raised in something between awe and fear. "They really are insane." But Thexlon shook his head slowly. "No," he said quietly. "There's something we forgot how to be." He watched as the human woman sat with the ancient war dog, both of them finding peace in the simple act of connection. "They're brave enough to be kind,"